welcome po ulit sa ating YouTube channel, KabayanSam TV. Ngayon po mga kabayan ay i-share ko po sa inyo tungkol po ito sa nangyari share ko po sa inyo tungkol po ito sa nangyari sa APEC na dinaluhan ng ating mahal na Pangulo sa Thailand. At nagkaroon po ito ng question and answer tungkol sa pagresolba ng mga pangunahing problema sa ating mga bansa. Kaya ito po mga kabayan, i-share ko po sa inyo. Pero bago po ang lahat ay paki-like muna ang video at paki-subscribe. Pag-click ang notification bell para update ka sa mga bagong i-upload na video. So maraming salamat po. So ito na mga kabayan, i-share ko po sa inyo na talagang napakatalino po ng ating mahal na Pangulo sa pagsagot sa mga suliranin kung ano pa ang kanyang masasabi. Napakalinaw po na talagang siya po talaga ang ating pinili na hindi po tayo dapat magsisi dahil magaling ang ating mahal na Pangulo. Ito po mga kabayan, talagang mamamangha ka sa kanyang katalinuhan. Panuorin niyo po.
Ask questions from two ends of the same question.
Then,
First of all, short-term versus long-term. Every one of us here face that question. You talk about investment. Wonderful. Now where's the money? Short-term. What about the future? How do we know that? We love the directions you three gentlemen pointed to all of us in the Asia Pacific, but we cannot guarantee the certainty of the future you described. So, what about short-term, long-term? Or a president of a country in the Asia Pacific, short-term, long-term?
Well, I will be specific to the Philippine experience. Short-term issues are very simple. It is actually, at this point, it is survival for many of our people, simply because prices of fuel, prices of food has risen up to such an extent that they simply cannot afford to survive without assistance from the government. And hence, we are still presently in the Philippines providing just direct cash transfer payments. This is not something that we prefer to do. I don't think that anyone is particularly enamored with direct cash transfer payments, but it is the only way that we can mitigate the situation that our people have. So that is something that we are hoping with the creation of jobs and with the growth of the economy to slowly begin to dial down. And it is with the pandemic beginning to ease, at least in our case, then there's a great deal of hope that emergency situation will slowly resolve itself into some kind of normalcy. In the long term, there really are, I agree with Mr. Moritz, the changes that need to be made are structural. They have to be done structurally because this is a different world, this is a different economy. And as we were discussing in the green room, he says, we're not playing catch up. And I said, even if you were, what are we trying to catch up to? 2019? I don't think that that's the plan. And so we have to be, we cannot be too married to the ideas that we were holding as truths before, and we have to be willing to make big changes, but with the recognition that from what is actually happening around the world. But when we make these structural changes, I'd like to pick up on the point that Dr. Schwab made is innovation. We must allow still innovation we must still continue to encourage innovation and to recognize innovations that can actually help and immediately put them into play, or put that, if it's a product to market or if it's a system, to implement that system. So the agility that Mr. Moritz is saying, I think, is the key to the future in the long term for not only the ASEAN, Asia-Pacific region, Indo-Pacific region, but for the whole.
Just very briefly, you all talk about building trust. It's not easy. Building trust or rebuilding trust. We know how difficult it is, especially over the past few years. We might not be able to see to each other in person. And we can see each other's shoes also, not just here through Zoom, right? So on that point, how that we can efficiently rebuild trust? Yes. Mr. President, please.
In the political context, the way to earn trust is to perform. The best politics, I always say, the best politics is performance, because it's something that cannot be taken away from you, and it is something that actually makes a difference in people's lives.
Walk the talk, perform.
Perform, and you will get the trust back of the people, and that is what we all politicians, and I'm sure even people from the business side, that's what we strive for.
Thank you so much.
So yun mga kabayan, napanood po natin na talagang napakahusay po ng ating mahal na Pangulo. Kaya inaasahan po natin ang kanyang pagdalo doon sa Thailand na mayroon itong magandang resulta muli sa ating bansa, na yung ating mga pangailangan, yung problema sa ating bansa. Talagang ating mahal na Pangulo mahanap ng mga solusyon na paraan para tayo po ay makabangon muli. Kaya so yun mga kabayan, ay ako po ay magtatapos na. Maraming salamat po. God bless you all.